my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today is year 6 of having my brother SE600. Let's get into it. I cannot believe that we are on year 6. This is crazy. So I bought this machine back in 2021 and it was $391. That was a big purchase for me. When I decided to get this machine or not, I was like, I don't need another hobby. I don't need to get into sewing. At that time, I had Tansley Paper Co. and I was doing all sorts of paper crafts. I was helping with wedding invitations, baby shower invitations. I was doing greeting cards, all sorts of different paper things, right? I had my Cricut going, I was deep in that realm and I had and still have so much paper things. And I was like, I don't need another hobby. I don't need another hobby. And I taught myself how to sew. So I had taken a couple like home ec classes in school and we maybe did a project or two, and I did a project with my mom when I was a kid, but like nothing like in depth, like just a couple simple little projects. I didn't like really get into the depths of sewing until 2019 when I went on a Disney cruise. I wanted to make a skirt, and when I looked online, they were so expensive for what they were. Like I wanted a Marvel skirt. And I was just looking for like a simple A-line skirt. And if you don't know, that's just one piece. Maybe it has a waistband, maybe it doesn't, maybe it has a zipper, maybe it has elastic, right? And they wanted like $40, $50 for this online. And I'm like, okay, but like you really didn't do that much, right? Like maybe $20 or $30. So I was like, let me just do it myself. So I bought the material, maybe cost me like $10 or $15, and I used my mom's sewing machine that was as old as I am. It was the worst machine I've ever used. She knows this, so it's okay. I was struggling and I hated it so much. I was so frustrated, but I was so happy with how the project turned out. It was too big. It didn't fit right. I ended up having to like wear a belt and like turn the waistband over so you couldn't see the belt. But I got so many compliments when I wore it. I felt so happy and so proud of what I wore. And so that was kind of like my first step into like a project that I wanted to do and like had it turn out relatively well. After that, when COVID hit, I started hand sewing masks. So I was working in a Home Depot, well, not for Home Depot, but in a Home Depot. And I was hand sewing masks for myself and people that I worked with, right? And I felt like I was like a drug dealer at work, and I'd like come in with like a paper bag and be like, hey, here's your mask, right? And I did a bunch by hand, and then I used my mom's machine and I did a bunch like that. And it was driving me nuts because the machine like kept skipping stitches, breaking needles, getting all tangled up, and I was just getting so frustrated. And I'm like, I need to buy a machine. But like I said, I was like, I don't need to go down this road. I already have so much stuff. I don't need more. And I was like, okay, well, if I do buy one, do I buy a cheap one that's just a sewing machine? Do I buy one that's like a crazy fancy one? Do I buy one that's in the middle? I've always loved embroidery things. And so when I saw that this machine, it's like on the lower end of embroidery and sewing machines, I loved that it could do both, like the best of both worlds, right? Granted, the embroidery space is only a 4x4, so you can't do like a full sweatshirt or like the full back of a jacket. That's not possible. But you could do something that's like a 4x4 square, which is more than enough for a lot of projects. And I've used it a ton. So I ended up placing the order with Home Depot. And at that time, like Home Depot, Joann's, Walmart, when like you're trying to buy fabric and sewing things, you couldn't go inside. You had to only like buy it for pickup or delivery. You would order a bunch of fabric, and then like you'd only get half of it. And so it was really frustrating. Like I would place orders for like $100 or $200 worth of fabric, and I'd only get half of it. And I'd have to drive to whatever closest place would actually fulfill the order. So it was such a pain to try and get like the materials, to get the machine. I finally got the machine. And I would go to work all day, and then I'd come home and I would sew masks all night and then bring them to work or deliver them in my apartment building. And the machine, like I said, was $391. I paid off the machine selling masks for $10 in a month, because I did so many, like all the time. That's all I was doing, was sewing masks. So I have not sewn masks in years, but I feel like I could do it with my eyes closed. And then once things like started to settle down with the masks, and like people didn't need as many, and you know, the mask spans were lifted and stuff, I was like, okay, well, what else can I do, right? And then that's where my self-taught, self-discovery journey happened. And then I was just going on YouTube and Instagram and watching different videos, and I would find a project that I wanted to do. Like, let's say, I can't think of an example. Okay, right here I have like these little gloves that I made, right? And so these little fingerless gloves. So I'd watch like 5 tutorials on how to make fingerless gloves. And I'd be like, well, I don't really like that construction. I like that, but I like that material, but I like this pattern. And then I would take like all of these different ones together and put it together for a project. And that's still what I do these days. Like if I have a partial idea, or I have an idea for something and I can look up something similar, like let's say that I wanted to make a cover for this bin, right? And I look up bin cover and nothing shows up. I would then look up, okay, bowl cover, and I would watch a video on how to make a bowl cover. I'm like, okay, well, how can I adjust that for a rectangle, right? So maybe there's not a tutorial or a video for the project that you need, but maybe you can find something similar and then adjust it to make it work. So anyway, so I started to learn how to make different things. And then at my craft shows, I had my paper products, I had my sewing items, and I got so many negative comments from other vendors and from customers. And so then eventually in 2022, I just changed to Sew Sustainable, and I got rid of all the paper products. I have not made any cards or anything paper in a hot minute. I would enjoy doing that. I still have all the things. Now I just don't have the time or the energy or the thought to do it. But I do still enjoy doing that. I love the idea of it. When I see videos, I'm like, oh, I could do that. I would really enjoy doing that. So now I need to just like, you know, have 4 months of time to be able to do all the projects that I want to do. Anyways, that was a big tangent, but me and my sewing machine have been through a lot over the last 6 years. Every year I do about 1 million stitches. There have been 2 of the 6 years where I did more than 1 million stitches. In this past year, I have not done as much sewing between you know, moving to a new place, and I've had a lot of responsibilities personally like going on. I have not had as much time to do sewing. So in the past year, our total stitch count is, drum roll please, 5,344,653. Last year we had a stitch count of 4,839,651. So that means that in the last year we did 505,000 stitches in 505,2. And that is our second lowest year. The other low year was 2024, doing 504,580 stitches. So not the worst year, but definitely pretty low. I'm hoping that in this next year, in summer and fall, I do not have any craft shows on my docket right now. There's a lot up in the air right now with the different shows. Hopefully I will be able to add a couple on, but I really do not have any interest in doing shows that I am not certain will be profitable and be worth my time. I have just wasted so many Friday nights, Saturdays, you know, getting all my stuff together, waking up early, gonna go set up, and then sitting there all day and just doing nothing and not selling, and just, it's not worth it. It is absolutely not worth my time. I would much rather just be at home and, you know, be making more product to then go to a bigger and better show, or just doing something else with my time. So that being said, like I said, I want to use that same amount of time that I would dedicate to shows to be productive and to use that time wisely. And I have so many projects I want to work on. When we cut the jar openers back in January. We also cut tissue pouches and wine bags. So those are two big projects. We probably have like a couple hundred of each that need to be made. I also have all of this cotton flannel that needs to be cut and made into reusable towels. So that's another big project. And then I have a bunch of fabric that I've gotten over the last year that I need to serge, wash, and iron and get it up on the wall so that then it's ready to go for next year when we want to use it. So I have a lot of different projects that I want to do. I also have a little haul for you. I went to the thrift store and I was able to find these two little fabrics and they weren't priced. And I was like, how much are these fabrics? And the lady's like, how about $2? And I said, sounds good. So I haven't touched them, but they looked like quilting cotton. So you get a little bonus haul today. So these are Hobby Lobby or this one is, I'm assuming that one is too. These are Hobby Lobby fabrics. So pretty. I love like old lady floral patterns. They are my absolute favorite. And this is a lot of fabric. Let's see here. I'm sorry, my neighbor is vacuuming. Printed for Hobby Lobby. So this one is Hobby Lobby as well. I don't love patterns that have straight lines like this. Like, I find that it's really hard to use them for projects, but $2 for all of this fabric, really can't complain. So anyways, I'm glad I was able to give you a little mini haul there. But that's me and my sewing journey and where I am at with my 6 years on my brother's SE600. I absolutely love this machine. The machine is an absolute workhorse. Sewing, embroidery, it works so fabulously. I've only had to take it to the shop one time. And honestly, it was stuff that I could have fixed myself. And now that I know how to fix it, I have all of the tools and the backup pieces that I need on hand so that I have them for when they break, I can go ahead and fix it. Because when it did go out of service, I did not have my machine for a month during jar opener season. And so that was really tough. So I highly recommend, like, if you get a new machine, watch some videos or take it to a shop, figure out what could go wrong, what pieces would probably need to be replaced. In my case, it's all of the pieces right down here in this housing. So the plastic here, this metal piece, the bobbin case, like these are all the things that can go wrong. So order them online or buy them in the sewing shop and just have them on hand so that you can replace them if they do go wrong. The other thing is cleaning your machine regularly and changing the needle. If your sewing machine needs oiling it when you're supposed to. But doing all of those things, yes, you might still need to go to the sewing machine repair shop, but like it will make your visits way less frequent. But anyways, I love this machine. I would highly recommend. This machine is discontinued because it's the older version. So this machine, when you do embroidery, you use a USB, which I love it. It's a great function. The newer machine has Bluetooth capabilities, and you use an app on your phone and you send the file digitally to the machine. So it has the same capabilities. It's the same version and level of the machine, and I believe it's around the same price point of a $400. But this particular machine, SE600, now is either way more money or less money, depending on where you find it, because it's discontinued. So anyways, if you have any questions about the SE600, please put them in the comment section down below. Like I said, highly recommend. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.